Days, what's up, y'all? Yeah, this was a good, a trilogy. Gotta say, there was a lot of stuff that was like really good about this film, and yeah, it was really good, which I do agree. But something about the third one was like really awesome as well.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like while watching some promos and trailers here and there, like most notable is of course. Well, no. I'm giving it away again. But like again, like it was just one of those many movies set around like summertime that I kind of like enjoyed because I was enjoying summer myself. So I just take to see like what it was all about.
Uh, the first time I saw this movie was, um, I we rented a DVD from the library, and they had their Wimpy Dog Days, and yeah, it was pretty good. And then later on, when we had to return it, finding out that you could record in DVR, because when it was coming on Nickelodeon or anything like that, just record it and then watching it over and over. Yeah, there was so much good about it. And wait, yeah, the sax. Like, where did you first watch it fresh?
Yeah, at home. Like I first like saw or maybe even read the book of it, but when I did see the movie, it was an awesome payoff. And I just gotta say, out of all the movies, this has to be like just my most favorite one. And it's my favorite due to some scenes here and there, but it's also kind of a little bit much emotion when you're like watching deeper because it's a bit awkward and relatable.
Yes, which we'll get into after I ask this question. Massman, where'd you first watch it? Home, DVD? Where'd you first watch this film?
I watched it at home.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. So basically, we started with the family going to like the community pool and everything, and thinking like it was gonna be a good day and everything until like yeah, Greg has to find Manny, and he goes into those showers where you see all those naked old men. I'm like, oh damn. Uh, but later on, oh yeah, they're still at the pool and everything. No, but the pool scene especially was disgusting at that point.
I mean, well, the
Yeah.
whole movie about that because like it just experiences what it's like to just live in a gross world. To be honest.
Yep.
Hmm.
And also the father even told Greg that it's summer. You're supposed to have fun, not play games.
Yep, that's what we're gonna get into after on the full summary here. And yeah, they're still at the pool, and yeah, they run into like an old like friend, I believe Roderick's, or like there's a prankster. His name was Linwood, and basically he changed. And Frank was asking him, "What happened to you, man?" He basically went to Spag Union. It's like basically a school where they teach you how to be strict and respectful and everything. And Frank asks like what grade does that start in? Eighth grade. And this is when Greg goes like his next grade is eighth grade. And yeah, having thoughts about sending Greg to like Spag Union here and there. And then we go to like the last day of school. Now Greg thinks like, yeah, we don't need our textbooks and everything, but everybody brought their textbooks for the last day of school. I'm like, wait, I kind of agree with Greg. You're not supposed to do work on the last day of school, correct?
I mean, well, I mean, it depends. Like, if the teacher is a jerk or anything like that. In this case, well, you already know what happened in freaking movie two.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, he basically had to share a textbook with Fregley, and yeah, just waiting for the bell to ring, and then it finally rang here and there. But of course, signing like yearbooks and everything. And this is Greg's time to get Holly's phone number, but of course, what was it? Polly had to like hold a Holly and like bring her to the hallway fast. They didn't even finish like the whole like phone number at that point.
Actually, she kind of did. Like, I believe that she kind of like did finish her number. She just accidentally just kind of like like drew that line.
The last two numbers they had to like find out. That's the thing.
Oh, because I was thinking like later on when she said, "Why didn't you call?" And it was right. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense. Then. Okay.
because this is going on to beyond the movie because there's a scene where Greg and Riley was trying to like find the two last digits of like her phone number. I remember one of them was Coach Malone
Yes.
and Fregley, and then like other random people. But yeah, as the last type school goes beyond and everything, just think about what Greg wants to do for like the summer and everything. And Frank, he doesn't want him to be on video games that much. He wants him to play sports and everything. So what Greg does, like in one of the scenes, no, what do you call it? He's just playing video games nonstop, like the
All
whole
day.
hour basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, and as soon as like he hears Frank's car coming in, he pretends like he's been playing sports, like touching himself with water, holding a football, and he's like saying, "Oh, I just been playing sports. You just been playing sports." Huh. And then until it's like when he opens the TV, is that the video game is still on. I'm like, damn it, Greg, you could have had your chance. You just turn off the video game or take it off. Oh man.
Yeah.
And of course, oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I just said yeah, like because I remember that scene.
And of course, Roderick the whole day was sleeping on the couch, but he finally got up until like Frank like hit the couch and everything. And yeah, Press, explain the funny thing with Frank, what he does with the TV.
Of course, it's one of his more hammer moments because he's just that funny. He just decides to just ban TV and video games for a whole summer. Just takes out the cables and he goes, "Ha! Guess who's the laugher now? Me! I'm the laugher. I'm the laughingest laugher that ever laughed."
Oh man.
Yeah. And yeah, of course, the mother she opens up the window, and then like Greg, and then like it hurts Greg's eyes, and he like starts hissing at like a vampire.
That was during the
Yeah.
part. Like, we're past that.
Yeah. But going back with Frank, like, and then this is what provoked it, Frank. It was because of Roderick, because he was like laughing and everything. Oh man, but yeah, going beyond. And then this is when Susan, the mom, decides like, hey, we should do a book club and everything. But of course, Greg wants to do different stuff. And like this is when Riley reveals that him and his family goes to like this country club kind of thing. And he decides to go to avoid the book club. They decide to go, and yeah, it was really good. But the thing is, what country clubs, they're like really expensive, and basically putting everything in Riley's like family's like credit card and everything. And this is really bad for Greg later in the story, but yeah. And what do you call it? He found out that Holly actually goes to this country club, and yeah, he decides to go every day, and everything else. What else?
All while saying that to his parents that he got himself a quote unquote job because he just didn't want to work as an intern to where his dad works.
Yep. But that really screwed up eventually later on.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, what do you call it? In one of the scenes, Greg decides to go on vacation with Rowley and his folks. And yeah, having a fun time and everything at the amusement park. And again, what are the disgusting scenes? I know some families do this, tend to minds, but sharing with another, person with different DNA, like sharing ice cream together.
Oh yeah, it's just unsanitary. Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, before I saw the movie, this was like one of the promos or like the commercials I saw as a kid. Is like when they were on that ride. It was like, one time I used a toothbrush to get dog poop off my shoe. He's like, what? Uh, the Crimean Shaker. That's what it was called. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, towards all this, it also got awkward when they had to play that board game where it was like going to like Greg and like Rowley said he was like think of something. I love you because um awkward. You know, if I was a Greg in that situation, I would have said, "Hey, I love you because you're a good father to my best friend."
True. Yeah, that's that's what I was thinking as well.
But yeah, Greg is like having second thoughts about like staying here and everything, where he gets to the point of going to Susan's like email and texting like anybody, like sending an email saying, get me out these crazy people's house and everything. Then the next day, he just sees like Rowley and his parents like sitting on the couch explaining about the email, and of course, oh yeah, his Greg's parents gave him a ladybug like telephone, basically only calling home or 911. He decides to press like the home button, but he's pressing multiple buttons, like the two buttons, and he actually pressed 911. And yeah, when we're going back to this scene, 911 actually came to the door where he sees Marley's dad holding a knife, and it decides like to stay in him and everything. And that's when he has to go back home with Frank. So yeah, that just made it awkward for him and Rowley. But yeah, deciding like to go on the country club or not, Riley makes up lies, says I'm not going today and everything. But with Greg, he decides, hey, maybe I don't need him. Maybe I just could do it under his name and charge everything to his parents and credit card or anything like that. And yeah, oh yeah, there was also that scene where it was like Polly and Holly like like what was it, playing tennis. Oh,
I like. Did you say Polly is Patty?
oh sorry, my fault. Patty, yeah, Patty and Holly were playing tennis, and she asks ahead of time, "Do you know how to play tennis?" Yeah, only on the Wii. But that was embarrassing. But yeah, it got to the point where it was like, "Oh hey, I thought you're not coming today." Since he was saying that to Riley, and yeah, it kind of got awkward. And Holly finding out that he's not a member as well, and that also got awkward at that moment.
Well, not really. Like she still was kind of like satisfied though a little bit.
Mm. But yeah, before we explain like more of the scenes, it especially got really, really up for like Greg because in this one scene, Frank is dropping him off supposedly at work, but we see Riley's dad like have like this paper with a bill of like how much stuff did he purchase, and like the people that knows Greg, basically the staff or like anybody, be like calling him different names like Riley or anything like that. And this is where it really got effed up for Greg is like when Frank brought him his sunscreen, and this is where like Riley's dad confronts him about the bill and everything, and this is where he finds out that he doesn't actually work there. Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. But going with the country club, oh yeah, because Roderick has this crush on Heather, like Holly's sister, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what do you call it? During all this, he actually gets him a gig and everything. And this is the first time we see, Roger get into his feelings and hug Greg.
I mean, of course, like they were starting to like bond in like well the second movie, but yeah, it was just kind of wholesome where they did kind of like hug each other like on the two occasions in this movie.
Hmm. But now we also go to the scene where it was Greg, his friends, and like Frank like going to like camping and everything, basically with the troops. And yeah, there's a competitive like other campers and everything with their like scoutmaster. And yeah, just taking the first, spot to like where to sleep and everything. Yeah. Oh yeah, especially what they were telling that scary story about the hand. And that like, scared Greg especially because he saw a hand coming from the tent and he hits it with a hammer. And it was like it's just, Frank and everything. Uh but they decide to pull a prank on the other campers with their scoutmaster. And yeah, but finding out the truth that they've been using electronics and everything else, so they're basically like being fake campers and everything. And it got to this point where Frank confronts the scoutmaster about it, and he was like, "Ha, I'm gonna like report this to the committee or something," and he falls down and everything. And yeah, the next scene it shows like Greg and Frank in a motel, like eating pizza and everything, and finding out, why he's camping a purpose, basically.
Like, well, like, just basically explaining that, like, just because, like, they have differences because that's what this is all about. Greg and his dad like having like different. They're not really seeing eye to eye though so much, but they still will love each other.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what do you call it? What's the name of that comic strip they both hate?
I think it was called like Little Cutie. Yeah.
Because early in the movie, it was announced that the original guy who was drawing this was retiring. But when they're in the motel, they turn on the TV and seeing that his son's gonna take over. That's the only thing they bond over because of that comic strip and because of the talk and everything. So yeah, feeling bad for both of them now. Um, but now we go to like Heather's party and everything. Thinking it was gonna be good and everything. But remembering that Greg and Riley are just like roadies and everything. Oh damn! When Roderick wants to approach like Heather, he sings Justin Bieber's "Baby."
I mean, that was the best part of this movie for me, of course.
Oh my! Then it went to Havoc and everything.
Like I just died laughing whenever when like Heather she just she was like I am going to kill you, and the way how Roderick screamed and he ducked down is just so funny to me. And then hey, so I hear you're really cool chick, so I don't know, maybe I could call you next week and we can hang out. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, like Greg and Holly has their talk again about like the phone number and everything else. And it cuts into like the final scene in the movie where like everybody's at the pool again with no people, surprisingly, not that much people, and everybody's having a good time. And I believe that was a good send off to like a good trilogy. While like the years later we have a awful movie about it.
Yes, that we will not speak about.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's basically the plot of Darwood Kid Dog Days. Oh yeah, of course. It's the name Dog Days. They get a pet, like a dog. At first, they wanted to call it something like Shredder or Ripjaws, but many suggested Sweetie. Oh man. But yeah. Oh yeah, remember that scene like where Sweetie had like the pot roast in its mouth,
Yes.
and then like Greg and Frank didn't say nothing and just let the rest of the family eat it, being disgusted like what they were doing. Especially Roger, asking, "What did you do to this pot roast?" Chefs never like reveal their secrets. Like, I was like, "Damn." But yeah, overall,
Yeah.
again, a good send off to like a good trilogy. Now,
Yeah.
Hold on.
all right. Now with the cast. Now, unfortunately, this is the last time we see the OG cast of Darwood Kid because we did explain before because usually they would have like a continuous. Really sucks.
And one notable thing that I was gonna like say at the beginning, but I just wanted to like be careful. What I do like is like when you keep on continuing a certain different film series. Excuse, pardon my dog, but it's you just see them getting older and like first and foremost with Zachary Gordon, like I just do like how he sounds much more deeper. He's much more muscular looking, and he's just well, just watching them grow is kind of like only yesterday when you first saw him,
I mean, I still see Zachary on TikTok or Instagram talking about his experience with Darwood Kid or like what his favorite hobbies or like shows or movies.
No, I just mean that for anybody in general.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, and weeks ago I recently saw a picture with Zachary and Robert, aka the actor for Rowley. They took a picture together, and I was like, "Oh, this is a good reunion."
Yes, very, very indeed. Good to know.
But yeah, we basically talked about like the cast from the first movie and the second movie. Let's see here. Newcomers would be the actor that played let's see here, Heather Melissa Roxborough. Yeah, so other than Darwood, she was also in Star Trek Beyond, Supernatural, Manifest, let me The Green Arrow Show, Legends of Tomorrow, Quantum Leap. But I think her character Heather was Nick Tander. I'll give her a 5.
I mean, yeah, I'm not really much of a fan of older sisters being so, that type of way.
Mm-hmm. And let's see here. I think that's about it because the same cast from the first and second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now to our final thoughts.
Although it is kind of surprising that the creator, like the author of the series, Jeff Kinney, like plays Holly and Heather's father. That was cool.
I mean, yeah, because he played the dad from the previous movie, the second one.
Right. I mean, like I don't know if I mentioned that, or if any of us mentioned that before, but was just saying it's just a little cool to know authors doing that type of stuff, like making cameos.
Yep. All right, now it's final thoughts.
Right.
All right, as I've been saying this for the whole review, this was like one of the greatest third films for trilogies ever. And again, it's both happy, great and sad because again, it's the last time we've seen the original great cast of Diary of a Kid, and just everything about this movie and the previous ones. This made it wholesome. And of course, you next, Mastermind.
Yes, this was one of the greatest Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies that we've watched.
Good. And Leslie, you first.
Well, like just, I mean, like we basically just said like everything, summed up everything. You did for this time around. We rarely redo that, but yeah, it's a good send off for the original great trilogy, and well, again, it's enjoyed every second of it.
And that was the Diary of a Kid Dog Days review. Hope everybody enjoyed, and hope to see you all next time.